So hello and welcome back to another episode of Steven's Forward, and believe it or not, we're already getting towards the end of July, so I decided let's do another one of our monthly update video. I'm trying to do fairly regular at the end of each month or towards the end of each month. So this is going to be July's edition, and we'll start out with the SL. So not too much report on the SL. I'm currently waiting on the part for the soft top cover all the way back here. I couldn't find any in the UK part, that particular part I couldn't find in the UK anywhere, so I had to order one from Germany. So hopefully, I ordered last week, so I hope it should be here at some point this week or begin next week. We'll see how quickly it gets here. That's already been dispatched, so it's somewhere between here and Germany at the moment. I'm not too sure where in Germany it's coming from, but somewhere between here and Germany at the moment. So I'm going to get that, going to fit it. Hopefully that should be the end of the slight saga of the soft top, which all started because it got stuck, and that was the original issue with that. It actually got stuck down. A soft top got stuck down, and I just need to get it back up again. and it seems to turn a lot bigger job from there, to be honest. So hopefully that will get delivered today this week. and get fitting it. Hopefully the filming is finish that video off and finish a mini series. I didn't expect to be a mini series off. And then yes, we can. That'll be hopefully the SL's done for all the little improvements that I really wanted to do this year. And again, I'll go probably over a few bits and pieces in that final episode on that soft top cover, just a few little bits and pieces that I've been doing to the car. So other than that, the SL hasn't really been out doing that much. It's been out for a few little drives just to keep the engine going. Which a couple of hours try and take it out for a bit of a drive. It hasn't been to any shows, but we are going to a show on Thursday, and this video will be out on Friday. So I'm filming this a few days before. So Chelsea Wolf Cars in the Valley, which is an evening meet. Hopefully I'm going to take in this up here. I've also got Morgan in Malvern. They're doing, well, I'd say they're doing two meets. The Morgan faction themselves are doing a meet on Saturday morning this week, so that'll be after this video comes out. And also Wheels on Wednesday, which organises meets on a Wednesday evening, as the name would suggest, Wheels on Wednesday. They're doing a meet down at the Morgan factory next week, and that's always quite a busy one. So I think the SL might go to one of those. I think I'll take the SLK to one, and I think we'll take the SL to another one. So one or the above. See what the weather's doing. The weather does look like it's picking up towards the end of the week, so hopefully maybe this might go out on Saturday down to there. So I've taken the SLK down this year. I've taken my partner's taken the Figaro down. Last time I went there, so I think probably at the SL's time. It has been down there. We did do a meet last September. We drove down in the SL. So it has already been there, but it's just a nice little drive as well. So let's move on to the SLK now. This car had a busy couple of weeks, end of June, beginning of July. I went out to a few shows, did a few bits in it, and after saying that last year only 600 miles, I think it was 604 miles in the car between the MOT in June 2024 and the one between June this year, it's only 600 miles. I've already racked up over 300 miles now in it, so that's quite good, but there's going to be more going on there. It has been out that much last week. The weather's been a bit changeable, so it's gone back into the barn again, but I think definitely having the car outside the barn when the weather is nice, and hoping this week it might be back out the barn and go back sat out on the drive. It's quite nice because I can actually feel I can use it more. I don't have to necessarily start moving all the cars. You can see it's a little bit penned in. I have the B-Class the other side of the barn door, so we have the Figaro here as well, because the way the cars fit, this is the best configuration for them. So the SLK is usually blocked in by two cars, not quite as bad as the SL, it's blocked in by three cars normally. So the SLK has been out a little bit more, partly due to the fact that it's summer and there's shows, and partly due to the fact that actually it's quite easy to get to and it's nice. And we've taken it out just a couple of times to local pubs and just take our drive in the evening, a bit like the SL. But I think this is so much easier with it being out on the drive. I can just get the cover off and we just go off, we're away. So final update, and for some reason this car is now featuring regularly on my channel. Never really quite the plan, but people seem to like this car and people always seem to have kind things to say about it, so let's might as well feature on the channel as we're here. So not really much drama from the Figaro this month. Only bit of drama was last weekend when I was putting the SLK back in the barn. I parked this car up, went to lock the door with the key, and the key decided to snap in the lock, which was fun, you could say, at least. So I've tried a few ways of getting it out. We have a little magnet, try getting that out. I just couldn't seem to get any other way. I've got a screwdriver which has like a little magnetic end, so when you pull screws out, it sort of holds onto there. That wouldn't work either. Now, my other expensive hobby is I do model railways, I mentioned before, and I have a little bit of tweezers for doing fiddly little jobs on there, and I managed to get one of the tweezers actually in there, and managed to get it out part of the way with the tweezers. It was slightly, now when I was turning it, I'd slightly twisted it, and also the key wouldn't come out when it was slightly twisted. The lock had to be bolt upright. So you can imagine the key, that's where you put your key, and that's how you put your key. So you put your key, and it has to be bolt upright. It can't be, it was like that. It was slightly off. So I had to get the tweezers in, push it back round, and I could get the key out. So other than that, no all drama from the Figaro. Figaro and the SLK went to the Stratford Festival of Motoring. We had a really good time over there in both of these cars. The one big thing I liked about Stratford is that there's lots of other things to do apart from the actual car show itself. That's fantastic, the car show. And it wasn't quite as big as I remember it being in previous years, telling out cars that were there. But I know it hasn't happened, I think, in 2022. So I'm hoping they do it again next year. Hopefully, more people will be able to turn out. I know the weather's a bit against us as well. The weather even on Saturday was very overcast, threatening with showers. We didn't actually have any showers in the end. I think we had about 3 or 4 drops, and that was literally it for the whole day. But Sunday then was absolutely terrible, so we didn't bother going to the other one. But yeah, I hope that happens next year. If Stratford happens again. So other than that, I've done a few little jobs on the Figaro. The first was I put these new little caps on the end of the sill trim here, so water's getting in. They're okay fit. I mean, never going to be perfect, never going to stop all the water getting in, but it certainly looks a little bit tidier now. I did a few little bits under the bonnet. There was, as I probably mentioned last time, to get for the MOT, it struggled on the one head, this headlight actually, and it basically kept blowing bulbs. So what the garage ended up finding was that it had this xenon light system in there, and that was the problem because it seemed to be blowing the regular bulb, because the regular bulbs not xenon bulbs. So what we ended up doing, well, the garage actually ended up doing was finding the original lights wiring for that, and they managed to find that, and then they've taped off, put little bits of blue tape on all the connectors for this xenon light unit, which is very helpful. And they said that if you wanted to move, you can do. If not, it's not harming the car or having it underneath there. So I've gone through and removed that. It only took me about half an hour to go around to make sure the wiring was there and just make sure I was pulling the right wires out. So I've done that. There was a split in the washer bottle for the windscreen wipers on the little cap on the top, so I bought one of those. That was like £5 or £6. There was also the bonnet stay where you clip it on the bodywork on the other side, on the inner bit of the wing here. That had broken, it wasn't holding in place. So I managed to buy a new one of those, and that was again was at £5 or £6. I think actually it might have been £3 or £4. So I bought that from the Figaro shop, as with the cover. So the only other thing I did with the Figaro I've just remembered was I refitted the mud flap on this side. When I first bought the car, it was actually hanging loose, and it was actually touching the back of it was actually touching the wheel. So I had to sort of get that sorted. All it was that the original bolts that washed away weren't holding properly. So I fitted it with 2 new screws in there, and it was absolutely fine, holds in place now. So I've done a few miles since then. It seems to be, fingers crossed, it seems to be okay. It doesn't seem to be wobbling against the wheel anymore. So another little job just to smarten up the Figaro, make it look quite nice. So yes, really pleased with the little bit of progress that we're making on this car. Every month we make a little more progress. It's just coming together really nice with this car. So the only other thing I've got to mention is the B class, which isn't really anything to mention on that because that has been absolutely fine. No issues with that. It's got its MOT due sort of mid-September, so I might start looking at getting that done towards the end of August. So I might have an update for you on that in the next monthly update. So yes, that is pretty much it. Not too much to report. Little bits and pieces, a few little shows, a few little events that we're going to. They're just generally using the car a little more and getting them out and about while the weather is nice. Hopefully the weather's going to be turning nice in this week, and I'll be able to get the SLK back out of the barn, out onto the drive, and that encouraged me to use it quite a bit more. So hopefully we'll be doing some more miles, and I'm determined to get well over 600 miles before we get put away for the winter, before we get to October, November time really, and yeah, start using that car a little bit more. So what's going to be coming up on the channel over the next month? Well, there's going to be SL video trying to get that soft top cover sorted. There's going to be hopefully a few show reports. I've got Chelsea Water that have gone out by the time this video is out. So it's going out on Friday. The Classic Nostalgia at Chelsea Water going out on Tuesday. So I hope you enjoyed that. We'll do a few other little bits of shows. I will try and film my little bits if I can. Didn't do any filming for Stratford this month because it was so busy. We had so much going on. We have to be in certain places at certain times. I just didn't really get the chance to do any filming, and we were so busy. We had some family come over for the afternoon to join us. So I didn't get the chances of filming, but yeah, it was a really good day out, that one. So that's what we got, just general updates. We'll have a few more videos, probably on the SLK and the SL. Maybe some little talking video, answer some questions. I also hopefully going to be filming, my 1,000 subscriber special as well, and that's going to be in the SLK. I still haven't quite got a plan for that. I think I've got a plan in my head that I actually need to go and sit down and actually write out a little bit more of an in-depth plan for that, but that'll be coming on soon. Obviously, I don't know when. Whenever we get to 1,000 subscribers, that will, I imagine the rate we're going at the moment, that'll be around September-ish time. So I'm hoping to film that in August at some point. Yeah, it's probably going to take me a good day to go and film that in the SLK. So we're going to go and do that. And that will be going out, and that will just get slotted in as soon as we get to 1,000 subscribers. That will be slotted in sort of after that. So we'll see what happens with that anyway. But yeah, that's my sort of plans for August. A few other little videos in there as well. So just before I sign off for today, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel so far. Currently, at the time of filming, we're at 931. As you guys will probably know if you're regular, I'm trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers for this year. That's the point where I start getting paid. And it's just a big goal for me this year. And it just gives me something really positive to target towards, to be honest. So if you've enjoyed this video, you're not currently subscribed, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. It's completely free to do, and you get to see more of me. If you don't like to see more of me, you can also see more of the cars. So thank you to everyone else who subscribed to the channel and continues to like, comment on the posts. It's always really great to see that you guys are enjoying this. So that's going to be it for today. We're going to say goodbye to all the cars in the barn, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.